All right, so check out this car. We got a 68. If you have a 67 or 8 car, you might find this area here to be fairly common in your engine compartment to start bubbling rust. I see this a lot on 67 and 68 cars. Now the reasoning for this is your fender apron overlaps this piece of metal here. This is not part of your fender apron. This goes to the upper shock tower, okay? And there's overlapping metal. I think from the factory, they never like prepped this. It was just a bare metal layered on top of each other. And then over the years, this happens. This is a design change from 66. So that's why you see a lot of this on 67 and 68 cars. I hope we're gonna show you what we do here to fix that issue. And step one is, unfortunately, you gotta pull the fenders off. Hey everyone, welcome back to Alf's Mustang Garage. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet and you want to follow us along and support us, those little things do go a long way when it comes to keep making videos, which are hopefully cool and hopefully sometimes helpful to keep your Mustang on the road and out of the garage. I'm not going to show you how to take off fenders. I'm going to set this up on time lapse. We're going to get into it, and then once we have a nice full access to this fender apron, we're going to show you what we do for these little repairs. Okay, it's been a minute. So the engine is out, we got the transmission out. Obviously I don't have to take the engine and transmission out, but we're doing a lot of other repairs on this car that requires us to pull the engine and transmission, as well as the whole front suspension. We got the whole front suspension off of this. Again, that's not required to do this repair that we're trying to do, but that's where we're at. So now that we're finally able to do this repair, what we have is we have two pieces of overlapping sheet metal. And from the factory, what happened was when this piece was laid down and then this piece was laid on top of it, it was bare metal. They were not prepping that or primering it in any sort of way, which is why this happens and why it's very common on these later model 67 and 8 cars. So what do we do about it? A lot of this repair is going to be on time lapse, so we're going to do a lot of talking. What we are going to do is cut out this section. I'm going to try and stay on this side of this mounting hole right here for your fender, and I'm going to follow this body line right here with our die grinder. So we're going to cut this section out. It's also going to cut the piece of metal that's underlapping that as well. So this piece is actually part of your upper shock tower. 67, they started doing an upper shock tower support because they redesigned the shock towers in 67 to start accommodating room for big blocks. So that's why you have this kind of issue. 65 and 6 cars didn't have this issue because you didn't have a fender apron, upper shock tower support, and another fender apron. There was no overlap there. So we're going to make our cuts on both of these. We're probably going to do one at a time and stay on this body line, stay right here, make it nice and precision, and then we're going to fit two separate pieces. An under piece that's going to get primed with weld-through primer, and then an upper piece that will get welded to that. So we'll pause periodically and kind of talk about the process as we go, but that's kind of going to be the overall what to expect, I guess, to see this repair. With that being said, we'll get the time lapse going, kind of get started, and then we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Okay, so there's the cutout. There's a pretty good look at your two overlapping layers here. So what we do, and you probably saw a little bit of this on camera where he's just fitting, and so you just have just some basic sheet metal. We didn't buy a fender apron to cut this out of. We just got the same thickness gauge metal just from our local metal mart here in town, and we got this cut to fit and even put a little bend in there to simulate that. And what Justin's going to do is he's going to butt weld that together and make it really nice and clean, and then he'll paint this in weld through primer, let that dry, and he also has the top piece fitted as well.
Not yet. I'll do the bottom first.
Okay, so we're going to get this fitted in there first, and then we're going to fit the top piece and do pretty much the exact same thing on the top, but we want to make sure this is coated really good in a weld-through primer. So that would be the next step, and then we'll go back on time lapse and show you how this goes together. And this is kind of cool to see as well. This is the cutout piece that came out of there, right? So you can see very clearly how it just ate itself apart. And that's because when they put these cars together, they put them together and then sprayed the whole thing in primer and or undercoating. But in between these two layers, there's no coating. It just essentially rotted itself out over the years. So that's what you're dealing with. Okay, on to the next stage. Okay, so he's got that butt welded together right there. It's all in weld-through primer. That's the zinc-enriched primer, so you can weld through it, and this will stay protected over the years. He went ahead and fitted this upper piece right here, which is going to butt weld across here and here. But we also drilled and prepped it for a plug weld to get it secure here really well. It'll kind of pull itself up. That way it stays nice and secure, and then we'll grind that up to a nice finished look. And so that would be essentially, when this is all ground down nice and smooth, that's going to be kind of the finished product there. And then of course you're just kind of like ready to paint over the top of this for your finished look, but that would be, you know, the repair. We'll go back on the time lapse and show you how that goes together. And that's that. You can tell I read
think your brain just got locked up.
You can tell I read out of stuff to say.
Have a good day.
Well, see you later. Okay, so yeah, that'll be the finished product there, and then we'll go back on time-lapse mode, show you how it goes together. When this is all said and done, we'll probably show you what it all looks like. But yeah, it's relatively simple. It's just getting in there and getting her done. Okay, one more thing before Justin welds this up. The underside of this panel is coated in weld-through primer. You're putting these together and they're going to be sealed up. So you want everything coated so you don't run into this issue again in 20, 30, 40 years from now. The idea is to make these things last longer than us. So that's the idea. There's the stuff we use. I will post a link in the description for this weld-through primer. There's our panels. all done up. He's already done the other side as well. So from here, what we're gonna end up doing, because we're gonna end up painting this whole engine bay. That's kind of part of the deal. We're doing some frame rail repair, torque box repair, floor repairs here. But we're gonna end up painting this whole engine bay, which means we'll do a little bit of light body work on here and paint all that so it looks nice and smooth. But now you're gonna have a nice sturdy structure. That's why we kind of stayed with the multi-layers in here rather than just converting it to one piece of metal. It's strong and it's sturdy. Anyways, hopefully you got some value out of that as far as if you're trying to tackle something like this yourself on your Mustang at home. It's very accomplishable if you just remove the fender on here. You don't have to remove the engine and all the suspension like how we did. Hopefully that kind of gives you a good visual aid of how to accomplish this. I didn't get into a lot of the nitty details of how to do this, but if you're fairly handy with measuring this out and cutting it and then doing a little bend here, 3/8 of an inch there on the bend, then you can make this repair fairly easy, I think. So anyways, hopefully that was cool. I'll probably do an update with this car when the car's all back together and everything and kind of show you how the actual finished product looked. But until then, I appreciate you being here, appreciate you watching. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Those little things do go a long ways when it comes to helping us to continue to make quality videos, which are hopefully helpful and or cool for you guys. So until then, we'll see you next time. One more piece of advice. If you're doing this with the engine in and the glasses in, if you notice, we kind of have some shielding up here. That's because, I mean, this car doesn't have the glass in it, but there's an interior in there. So we want to just kind of protect that from any kind of weld splatter or sparks or anything like that. If your engine's in here, it's probably a good idea to maybe get a nice welding blanket. It doesn't have to be super nice, just Harbor Freight welding blanket, cover your engine up. Make sure there's no fuel around, I guess. Make sure you're not rebuilding the carburetor in the same location. But yeah, other than that, just kind of pay attention to what you're doing. You're gonna make some splatter if you're trying to weld this. If you are experienced with welding, you bet. If you're just learning, then we don't want you to learn the hard way. So pay attention to your surroundings and protect your car, and it'll be just fine.